and welcome everyone to another episode of Nintendo's Red Cube live from the Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. And welcome to all of you guys here at Gamescom, and obviously also to you guys tuning in from home. So it's lovely to have you guys again with us. So we are going to introduce everyone who's around in our Red Cube right now, because we brought some wonderful friends from Nintendo of Europe. And we have Chris, of course. Hey Chris, good to have you back. And Filippo for the first time today.
Hi, hello everyone.
Buongiorno Filippo.
Buongiorno.
Yeah, it's not really morning, but I guess it's okay. And we obviously also have Sarah, Cass, and Colin. Hey guys, are you in a good mood?
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds confident, and I know why, because we're going to talk about the new Splatoon 2 update. Yesterday we already got a good glimpse of what is happening in the new update. We saw the new map, Manta Maria. We also saw the new weapon, the bubble blower, which is quite exciting. And today we're going to focus on the Salmon Run.
Yeah, so basically Splatoon 2 is getting continuous updates, and actually today there is an update to Salmon Run, because there is a new map that we can play. And as you may know, Salmon Run is a cooperative mode within Splatoon 2, where you play with up to 4 players and take on difficult salmonids. They are controlled by the computer, so it's really a very different dynamic from how it is normally.
Yeah.
The content that we showed yesterday was focused on Turf War and on the competitive modes, where Manta Maria is a new stage coming to those modes, and also the bubble blower is a new special weapon coming to those modes. But today it's all about Lost Outpost, the new map for Salmon Run.
I'm curious to see how you guys gonna fare.
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna play 3 rounds. The first round we'll play at 10%, which is a low difficulty level, which gives me the time to just look around and really explore the geometry of the map, while at the same time my esteemed colleagues are taking care of the hard work. So shall we just jump into it?
Yeah, sure. I have just one quick question to Filippo. So Filippo, I guess you were able to play it as well already, Lost Outpost.
Yes. It's actually, I love Salmon Run in general, and Lost Outpost is a really interesting map. So as the difficulty progresses during the course of the stream, I will take over the duty of describing what's happening
that
on
would
screen,
be my
while Chris will basically shout orders at our team.
Actually, that would be my next question, because Chris already told us that they are going to start with 10%. I think next one is 40, and we will see how much higher they are able to go. And what do you expect? Like, are they going to make it in the highest difficulty?
They're pretty good players, so I think at least we want to see more than 40% for sure.
Set the bar high, yeah, that's it.
So what you can see on the screen now is that we've all chosen different weapons, because we've been talking, while you were talking, amongst ourselves to get a good balanced selection of different weapons, so that we basically can counter any boss salmonid that crosses our path. Because in Salmon Run, it's really about defeating the boss salmonid, collecting their golden eggs, bring them to the basket to fulfill your quota, and those boss salmonids all have different strengths and weaknesses, so you need to be prepared for the unknown.
There are certain weapons that are definitely much more apt at defeating specific salmon. And we have High Tide already in the very first match.
So that means I cannot really show everything of Lost Outpost, but let's just start by the most unique thing. And that is that there are walls inside, and it's sort of a building in the middle. And you can see that the basket is in the middle of the building. You can, there's already the first boss salmonid.
As Mr. Nogami said in the announcement, basically this was a populated and inhabited place, and the rising tides, rising sea levels, basically people abandoned this area because of the rising sea levels. This enclosed building plays a big strategic role. And
yeah, what you can see already is that my teammates have been coloring the walls quite diligently, and that is because, especially on the higher difficulty levels, it's going to be quite tricky to not get stuck inside these walls. You can see now with High Tide, there's actually not a lot of room for us to move around. Oh, we have a steelhead over there. Let's see if we can get in.
Steelhead is a typical example of a boss where a long-range weapon really helps you. You have to hit that bag of poisonous explosive saliva that he generates from his forehead. And so a long-range weapon
sounds delicious, Philip, really.
So what you can see is that, especially in High Tide, there's not a lot of movement space. So what I've been doing as well is also coloring the outsides of the walls, so that I can quickly get inside and get to the basket if needed.
also because Salmonids cannot climb walls while Inklings can. So by going on the other side of a wall, then you make the Salmonids that are chasing you have to go all the way around, so you gain some breathing room.
Yeah. So right now we are only in wave 1.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you can see on the top left is that our quota was met.
Yeah.
For every round, there is a quota of the amount of golden eggs that you need to retrieve from the boss salmon.
Low tide.
Low tide, that's great. That allows me to really show the geometry of the map.
Nice.
So now, in wave 2, out of the 3 waves that we have to complete, our quota has gone slightly up because, of course, we want it to be a little bit more difficult. But more importantly, the tide has gone down. So that means that the level is a lot bigger now. And you can see here that this is actually quite a vast end of the level. And there's some grades here, and these are going to be very dangerous because if you use your squid form here, you will fall into the water. Sorry guys, you have to do a little bit more work now.
Okay, they can just ink your life preserver and immediately bring you back into the game.
Yeah.
But what's interesting here is if you are courageous enough, you can squid jump over these gaps of water. So it's a bit dangerous, of course. But I think the Steelhead is chasing you, Chris. That's a difficult position to be in. Oh, whoa. Oh, just as he was getting destroyed by your teammates, he got you. So yeah, you can you need to use squid jump here to pass over, to go over these gaps, and you can, if you make a mistake, of course, you fall into the water, and then you're like like a player 2 just did.
And another interesting fact about low tide is that you have fights happening at multiple sites at once.
Well, with low tide, the basket gets moved down, usually in the low tide area, every time. So it's really, it's a big space, but it's different from the normal, the normal placement of enemies. I generally like a lot low tide in Salmon Run because you know where you need to be, you know what you need to do. It's difficult, but at the same time reassuring for me, as in the situation of Salmon Run is always of controlled chaos. Now you're always on the brink of the defeat.
Yeah, so one thing that I really want to mention here is that all the 4 sides outside of the building are vastly different. So here you can really see that in Lost Outpost this part is particularly dangerous, because if you get caught here, how are you going to get back? You're going to be really slow getting back, or you have to squid jump from place to place to be very quick.
And then risk to miss and hit the water.
Whereas this really requires you to squid jump from side to side to be a bit safer. Oh, I think I see some help calls. I'm coming for you guys. Oh, they're all right. Okay, well then I'm going again.
As you can see, the quota in even at 10% difficulty keeps raising. So wave 1 was 4 golden eggs, wave 2 was 5 golden eggs, and wave 3 is now 6 golden eggs. So that means at least 2 boss Salmonids have to be defeated, and all of their eggs have to be collected.
Yeah. Oh, I love this boss.
Yeah, I like this guy. So, you know, they say that this guy, the fish, at least the Salmonid, is invulnerable.
Yeah.
So you cannot damage him, but you can break all of the pots on which he's sitting on until he gets hit by the fire underneath. And that's the only thing that can defeat him.
Yeah, so you can see now that we've met our quota. Suddenly our top priority is not to get more golden eggs. Our top priority is really to stay alive. Because in the end, there's always 2 things you have to do. 1, get the quota of golden eggs, and 2, make sure that you stay alive. Oh, that was a really nice one.
Nice kill.
Well done. Now, every golden egg that we go atop of the quota, it gives us a better reward. So there's still an incentive to overachieve, but we don't really need to.
Yeah.
So, oh, thanks for that. So I think that this was just basically more of an introduction into what is the geometry of Lost Outpost. We see that there is a central structure with walls where you can really get trapped, and then there's 4 very different places to spread out into. Now we're going to change the difficulty level to 40%.
Yes.
And that's probably going to mean that we're going to have some more panicky situations.
Yep. Yeah. And it might get a bit louder, so sorry guys. But of course you have to communicate, and that's for me one of the fun parts about Salmon Run, that I can play with my teammates and I also can blame them from time to time.
I'm going for a slosher.
I mean, when you go up in hazard level, now that at 40% we are at go-getter, we'll start to maybe see also completely different waves, not just boss salmonids, like we saw them now, but it could, the time could change, time of day could change, could become night, or it could become foggy. There are very different situations that we need to adapt to.
Yeah, so now, with 40%, really, in the 10 seconds before boss salmonids start to spawn, our top priority is coloring the walls.
Yeah.
Because we know that at some point during this match we're going to need them. Oh.
Low tide again.
Yeah,
and it's becoming night.
This is fog, I think, right?
Yeah, it's low tide. And,
it's low tide, yeah.
It's the cannon. So
we get a special one here.
In this specific wave, you have 2 cannons, and you only have very big salmonid that come out, as well as bosses. So 2 players need to take the cannons on the sides.
Oh, I think there's a Moss there.
Yeah. And the others have to take care of defeating the bosses before you get torn by these waves. One effective way to defeat Moss, the big shark that came out of the ground, or salmonid shark fight.
Where is he? Oh, here. Okay.
One effective way is to throw a grenade, to throw a ink bomb like that, just before it comes out. So that
there's another Moss.
There's another Moss,
yeah. And I guess that's also one of the reasons why you change weapon, right, Chris?
Yeah, well, my main reason for changing weapon is that I like the slosher against the salmonids that I'm not so good against.
Okay.
So, for instance, I find the steelhead always quite difficult to defeat. But with the slosher, I managed to reach his head a bit easier. So for me, the slosher is really sort of a convenience weapon.
So these
careful for the Moss.
These special waves that have different spawning patterns are usually more difficult. They're more challenging, but they also reward you with a lot more golden eggs. You've seen that they've already reached 15. So if you're effective, you can really collect tons of golden eggs.
Yeah, nice. Like we see right now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
wave 1 clear. Good job, guys.
Booyah.
Okay. So it was actually quite special because we've had twice that the basket moved to the place where there is the lowest tide.
Medium tide now. This is the more standard trap.
Make sure we get the walls also from the outside.
You see that in wave 2 the quota is 8, which is already much more than wave 3 was before at 10%.
Okay, is everyone on the outlook? Okay, so you can see in the bottom left corner, you can see that you can actually call your friends also with a non-verbal command, which can really help everyone find their way, because there's the boss here, doesn't really say so much, but if you say this way, sorry, this was a fake one, if you say this way, it's much more clear where everyone needs to go.
On top of that, on the screen of the other players, an arrow, the text will appear, and also a big arrow will
appear. There's also rockets.
Yeah, there's a fly fish, a steelhead. So these are
I take the right side of the rockets.
Difficult bosses to defeat.
Oh no, I'm blocked.
Yeah, you need to place your bomb directly into the bucket.
Yes.
I mean, each player has 2 uses of a special.
No, you're not getting my golden egg.
Each player has 2 uses of a special, and there are some special that help you defeating the bosses. But yeah, generally the strategy with the fly fish is you have to throw an ink bomb inside the open cannon.
So you can see what I did now was I was guarding the golden eggs to call my friends. However, we've already met the quota, so it might not be the best strategy because it's not our top priority anymore. Our top priority is now to not get stuck.
Yeah, so these corridors, these tiny openings, are a sort of double-edged sword. No? You can create these bottlenecks where it gets easier to defeat a big amount of enemies, but if you get caught in the middle of that room, a well-placed fly fish barrage or a bomb from a steelhead can defeat the entire team immediately because it's an enclosed space.
So this
wonderful map.
This is going quite well. I'm very curious what's going to be thrown at us now.
Wave 3.
I think we're in a good spot.
And you know, I like how the basic mechanics of Splatoon have to be used in a different way, so to speak, in Salmon Run. Modo. Yeah. You have to cover the ground, not to win the turf war in this case, but to gain mobility.
Yeah.
It's really one of the most important things. You need to be able to get from one corner to the opposite corner of the map very, very quickly.
And in addition, it's still very much about territory control. Yes. Because the moment that you fail to defeat a boss salmonid, it's going to cost you mobility, like you can see here. Because suddenly it's the salmonid's ink color, and that means that it really slows you down. Oh, there's a mouse here. Oh, got it.
Nice.
Well done.
Well placed, well placed.
Oh no!
Yeah. So the fly fish, the one that's throwing this rocket barrage,
there's another
will
mouse.
target
There's another
out
mouse.
of 4
Be careful
of,
behind
the
you.
inklings.
Kaz.
And then we'll automatically shoot rockets at their position.
There's another mouse.
Situation is getting a bit hectic. You know?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah, I did also throw a grenade with.
Yeah, he threw an ink bomb and also it was eaten at the same time. So
yeah.
the mouse at least was defeated.
All right.
Oh, this is scary. This is dangerous.
Quota is met, so 20 seconds to hold.
The steel eel coming towards us, that's very dangerous.
The steel eel inside this is really, really dangerous.
Come on, guys. Oh,
and also the ink rain.
So now you can really see that we're getting stuck here. And I am actually going to prioritize surviving this wave, I was going to say.
Yeah. I mean, the wave has been cleared, so it's all...
All right.
Chris, don't get me wrong, but I always love it when you get that unhappy tone in your voice, like, oh.
Yeah, well, there was some passionate play. Let's
yeah,
put it like
definitely.
Still great results, because 51 golden eggs is an impressive result.
Yeah. Well, I think that boosts enough confidence to start becoming overachievers.
Let's do it.
Let's try. I think if I mean, we said if we survive one wave, it's good already, basically.
Definitely. So the higher we get, your job title is actually also increasing. So now we're going for overachiever.
And I gotta say, it's something that I just really love about Splatoon 2, that you continuously get new updates, new content, and it's always fun to just explore the new stuff. Like, whether it's a weapon or a new stage or whatever, I really, really love that about that game. Like, always keeping it fresh and new and fun.
Well, staying fresh, it's obviously a big point of Splatoon 2, and we really want people to always find something new to do, something different, something new to try and experiment with.
So what you can see now is, because our top priority has shifted to surviving one wave, we've all chosen for weapons that have high firepower, can give us a good defense to get away, rather than focusing on weapons that are good against specific boss salmonids.
So what did you go for?
I went for the dualies because they have a high fire rate.
Yeah.
I think Kaz went for the arrow spray because that's what he always plays with.
Arrow spray is very good in this kind of map because there's range, high firepower.
There's at the grids.
Dualies don't have a very big range, so you might be in trouble when you find, for example, a steelhead. But at the same time, they allow you to go on cleaning duties.
There's a steelhead.
All the small enemies.
Okay, I'm going for the umbrella.
You know, that's the thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's the moment where you realize that there is no time to use the proper terminology. You just go, the umbrella guy.
Yeah,
go for that
exactly.
one.
You can really create your own language.
And that's a scrapper.
So first golden egg secured.
Oh, very well placed.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate there, I think.
Nice.
But this is going well. We almost have the quota.
Yeah, 3 more, 2 more.
Yeah, we need 1 more boss salmonid. Oh, there's a steel eel here. That's fine. That's
40 seconds
fine.
to survive.
I will get the steel eel.
So the steel eel has this salmon that is driving him basically at the back.
Yeah.
Okay, surviving now. We've got the eggs.
Yes. And you know, again, people are calling for help because they're being splattered and they need to revive. And as soon as you paint ink on your allies, they get back to play. It's fun now. All of a sudden, you start from having one inkling splattered,
okay,
then
just
2, then 3,
survive.
and then the situation becomes total panic,
this.
just trying to revive somebody in order to survive.
Absolutely, and that's the fun part.
You don't want to be alone in there.
Yeah. And that's the moment where I usually blame my teammates.
Well done.
Yeah, of course. Or the controller.
Of course. Ah, battery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've lost quite a few territory to the Salmonids, so we're gonna try and get our territory back as soon as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. First wave survived. Pretty good job.
That's
Oh, it's
very
low
good
tide.
already.
It's low tide.
And yeah, low tide, the basket is moved, so everybody goes
Still
down
coming.
to
Yeah.
lower area. It's, I think, really interesting to see how this map plays out in all of the different modes and waves that you
Nice.
can get. As the low tide here, I feel personally it's more complicated than low tide in the other two maps that we've released because of these gaps
Yep.
in between the areas and because of all the areas that you cannot ink in the low tide area. At the same time, there's a very long path for the enemy to spawn, so you clearly see them beforehand. Ooh.
Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. Does anyone have a long distance weapon? Yeah, the Mose is fine. Mose is fine.
So there are,
Nice.
you see now the situation has been reversed. Instead of collecting every egg, now
we
there's
need to
like
get-
12 eggs.
we need to get enough
on
for the
floor,
quota.
12 golden eggs on the floor.
We need to prioritize
But they
quota
just
now.
don't have the time
Yeah,
to go there,
exactly.
collect them, and bring them back to the basket. Because if you now don't focus on your team and helping others,
Oh,
it's very easy.
our eggs got stolen there.
Yeah, you just need one, guys, to get the quota.
Really? Only
one
one?
egg. Yes.
Okay, I've got one.
Can he make it though?
Yeah.
Quota's
Yes.
been reached.
Okay,
So
shall
20
we
seconds.
spread out? Spread out to different zones.
20 seconds of survival. Yes, here if you just want to survive, you want to go through.
Yeah.
Even if you have a golden egg, even if there are golden eggs on the ground, if you just spread out, you avoid that a big area attack that just defeats the whole team. And
Well done.
Chris is doing some parkouring around the central building.
Well, the walls are actually the most safe zone in a Salmon Run, so...
So let's
I was
see if we
just-
can complete this with wave 3. That's medium tide now.
Oh, that would be amazing. We are.
12 eggs. So that means at the very least 4 boss Salmonids have to be defeated and all of their golden egg have to be brought back to the basket. So we have another steel eel. And another
that's a shame.
umbrella guy, as we were saying.
I feel like I'm so silent right now. It's just I enjoy it so
Well,
much.
you're not
Yeah.
the only one who's silent.
That's unusual for you guys.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
Well, we
Well-
are almost making a 70%
Excitement.
run.
Yeah,
so-
it's pure excitement.
Keep concentration, guys. Focus
Well
on the
done,
task
well
ahead. That's really good. You're already halfway through the quota. Actually,
Oh, there's
2/3.
Scrapper here. Yeah, I got you. I got you. You do it from behind.
3/4 through.
Nice.
2 eggs left.
Two. Oh.
No, go and deliver. Quota has been met.
Yeah.
So 45 seconds of survival now.
45. Whoa, that's long.
Yes,
You can
pretty
do
long.
it.
you can do it.
Nice dodging.
So you see there, it popped the rocket that the umbrella guy shoots, and in this way you are stopping from generating the ink rain.
25 seconds, guys.
This is going well.
Yeah, it's going quite
It
well.
really is.
Yes. There's one more.
Oh, what a bad
yes.
position to
Stay
be in.
alive.
Yes. So here you see how, even though now the focus is shifted to survival, it's still very important to defeat the bosses.
5 seconds.
I'm coming towards you. Yeah, nice
3,
one.
2, 1.
Wow, we made
Very
it.
good. 70%. Very good.
Fantastic job, guys.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
that was very impressive. Very good, guys.
I am speechless, so Filippo, can you do this with the closing words?
So maybe you want to give us a quick summary of what is coming,
well.
in regards of the Salmon Run.
Well, I mean, this map is available
It is
already.
available right now,
Yes.
for sure for local play, and it will also be inside the rotation for
Very soon,
online
yes.
play, because Salmon Run is playable online at select times. So yeah, enjoy this Lost Outpost map, and also enjoy all the future free updates coming to Splatoon 2. I think with that, We can live our lives as overachievers.
Yes. All that adrenaline in Chris' body right now. Well done, guys. Thank you very much, Sarah, Cass, Colin, and of course, Chris and Filippo.
Thank you very much.
It was great having you guys here. So if you have some free time in the next hours and days, just come by and join us in the studio. I would love that.
Okay.
Going for the 80% run then.
Just remember to stay off the hook, guys.
Exactly.
So,
thank you guys. That's it for Salmon Run right now, but we're going to continue our show in the Nintendo Red Cube. But before that, we're going to switch over to Max, our reporter, who's outside right now, and he's going to talk a little bit about Nintendo Switch and his job as a reporter in general.